You do. And welcome to the Chastyn and Chance Podcast.
The first one ever.
Officially. You can tell.
You can do the drum roll for the name, but you just ruined it.
Rewind.
Oh, wait. It's your fault.
And welcome to the...
What are you doing?
Drum roll, please.
Oh. Whoa. Sorry.
Chastyn and Chance Podcast.
Oh, wait.
Should it be the Chastyn and Chance Podcast or the Chastyn and Chance Hour? I feel like if we're going to do the hour, we have to go the Chastyn and Chance Hour.
The hour is too restrictive. Because what if it's less than an hour, and what if it's more than an hour?
This is true. If we just say the Chastyn and Chance Podcast, then we can do it for 5 minutes or 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll just call it, or we can call it Talks with Cha-Cha.
Talks with Cha-Cha.
Fun fact, did you ever use Cha-Cha when you were younger? The texting thing?
No. There
was a number you could text. It was Cha-Cha, like the T9 texting. And you could ask it any question.
Like the what texting?
The T9.
What is T9?
When you...
You're going to have to move her.
Why? Look at her.
She's about to jump onto the desk.
No, she's not. She just wants to be included. Sniff, sniff. What is it? Little Lyndon sniffs. Aw, that's cute.
Oh, she's looking at herself in the camera. Who is that bitch on your computer?
Who's that pretty
There's
thing
another one.
on the screen? Oh my gosh.
No. Don't come over here.
That's
you were
really
not invited.
Cute. Look how excited she is to see herself.
She is.
She's whacking me with her tail. Anyway, yeah, T9 texting when you had the flip phone. And is she whining?
She is whining. You're going to have to move her.
Honey, that is you on the screen. Honey, hey, go. You're stressing yourself out. What?
Did you hear the thud?
No, did she fall?
See, she's on the desk. Told you. So many wires. Lyndon, get down. There we go. Okay, back to the T9, whatever that is.
You got a flip phone, and it was like A, B, C, D, E, F. You know, like the letters?
Mm-hmm.
So...
I think that's 8.
Huh?
I think T is 8.
What does that have to do with anything?
You said T9.
T9 texting is what it's called.
Go. They're so intrusive.
But Lyndon needs to chill.
So T9 texting, and then you could text Cha-Cha.
And ask it any question. It was like Google, but Cha-Cha.
So Cha-Cha was the know-all before Siri or Google or any of that.
See, what was it? Like 1, 2... I need to see the keyboard in front of me to remember what the numbers are.
Sadly, we don't have a flip phone handy. Did you?
It shocked me.
Oh, I thought it pulled the hair out of your lip. You gotta be careful. That's also what these are for.
I'm putting it back on. That hurt.
You're putting your wind anti-shock screen back on. I hope you've learned your lesson.
There.
Fancy comes at a cost.
Oops.
Well, that's interesting.
Don't sniffle into the microphone. Oh. That wasn't much better.
You sniffed away. Anyway. I believe the word you're looking for is
anyways. We were talking about the name of the podcast.
Yeah, we were.
And what it's going to be.
Yeah, what it is.
Well, we initially decided Chastyn and Chance Podcast, just like influenced greatly by the Jenna and Julian podcast.
Greatly, yeah.
Because we love them.
We do.
And it's just simple. It just is what it is. Like, what else could we? People call us Cha-Cha because of our names.
They do. Because for those of you who don't know, both of our names begin with Cha.
Crazy.
Yours is more of a Cha. Mine's a Chat as well, so it should be Cha-Cha.
I hate that.
It just doesn't have the same ring.
So the only other option would be Talks with Cha-Cha. Or the Cha-Cha Podcast.
We could put it up to a vote. You could do one of those polls.
I guess you could.
You could.
Unless someone else has some idea that's way better.
Well, nobody even knows this is coming yet, so.
Right, but we could ask.
Hey, we could ask.
And then, yeah, let's do that. That would be fun.
Okay, let's ask.
But, yeah, We'll see how that goes.
Do we ask pre-release or post-release?
Pre. And then we'll just, whatever. This conversation happened before we took the poll, and that's just...
Insert new name here.
We really, from Friends, when Phoebe's like, I don't even have a plug.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what we're doing with this.
We kind of jumped into
we're
this
just
ass
doing
first.
it because we want to.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's just gonna be all over the place.
This has no structure or, structure. It's another word for structure.
Organization.
It has no structure. We've landed on structure. We're sticking to that one.
I don't know.
We're hitching our wagon to structure.
Okay. Works for me.
I did have a question for you.
What?
Well, no, it's a serious question.
Oh.
It's an actual serious question, and I actually made a video about this yesterday, and it's a lot of people are saying that they've dealt with similar things online. Excuse me.
Hold on. Okay.
The look and sniff.
I had a sniffle.
We need one of those like mute buttons that mutes everything while we sniffle. Or we need a cough button is what we need. That one doesn't happen. Anyway, the question is how do you feel about people being disappointed in you online for not responding to them or not, structuring your content in the way that they want you to, and then them expressing that disappointment to you, feeling that they're validated in doing so?
I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Tell me some of them.
I think you know exactly what I'm going to say. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Did you break it?
Hello? I don't think so. I feel like I can't hear myself.
Well, that's because you put your screen back on.
No, it's been doing that. It cuts out.
That's weird.
Do you hear me?
I do hear you.
I hear you great. Maybe I just can't. But every word I say, it's coming through normally?
Yeah.
It's not going in and out?
Not that I can tell.
Interesting.
Huh.
Okay. Anyway, my thoughts. Yeah. So, that's a huge sense of entitlement for one. Two, those are expectations that they are setting, which is their responsibility. No one else is responsible for the expectations you put on someone else. So if you're disappointed, it's your own damn fault. You had expectations of someone, and I would say that they were unrealistic expectations because it's a random person on the internet that you choose to follow. And if you're going to complain about what they're doing or not doing, how they're doing it, then just move on. Because it's literally none of their business. They choose to be there. If they don't want to be there, they don't have to be there. Right. And if they're going to have expectations and be disappointed like that, bye. That's ridiculous. And I know actually I've seen a lot of posts from Drew on her Instagram since she blew up. She's dealt with a lot of stuff like that.
I hadn't seen anything on her Instagram about
she said she is the perfect example of setting her boundaries. She's like, I appreciate the support, but if this continues, I'm not going to let it continue because it's just unacceptable. And it is.
You are wavering in and out.
I am?
Yeah. I don't know if you're doing it in there, but I'm hearing that.
Am I all plugged in?
You should be, unless you kicked something. Look in the box. You should be mic 2, I believe. Oh. Testing.
Hello?
Say something.
I just did.
A string of things.
I'm saying a string of things to test to see if this is working.
You're still doing it. Can you maintain your volume?
We're all plugged in.
Maybe it's fine.
It wasn't doing that yesterday.
I don't remember doing that yesterday.
It wasn't.
I might have to get you a different mic. I really think it's the windscreen.
But it was doing that before. Hold on. Hello? Oh, I don't want to get shocked again. See? It's doing it again.
The chairs are very shocky. It's not going to be the cables.
Ow.
I don't know. We'll just continue. And if it's shit, we won't use it.
That would be so sad.
That would be sad. First episode in the garbage.
Anyway. that's my answer.
That's a good answer.
Are you surprised?
No, not at all.
Do you feel the same?
Yes. I feel validated as well. Did the screen just pop off and then pop back on?
Yeah, it did a thing.
That's what I thought. Still recording. Yeah, I feel like we're on the same page with that. And most people that have commented, well, actually I think everybody that has commented on that video has said basically the same thing. You know, my time is mine to do with what I please.
Yeah, and I saw your video, and your video was you setting a boundary. That's all that was. And people who get offended or put off by that, it's a them problem.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, I'm not accustomed to setting boundaries, though. It's still a new thing for me.
True.
So I really didn't see that as setting a boundary, more so as fixing a problem, which I guess are the same thing. But I saw an issue arising, and I'd experienced it several times, and I was tired of being put upon.
Well, that's your boundary that you set.
Right, but I feel like I did it in a very non-mean or aggressive way, which was my goal.
Setting boundaries is not aggressive. It's not a mean thing to do, but people get their feelings hurt, again, because they have their expectations and their entitlement, and they don't respect those boundaries.
Right on. I can high five you. I consider this radio. We're on the radio and we're high fiving. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you want a cool like DJ name?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
I'll send you my movie Nighthawk. DJ Nighthawk.
Step Brothers.
Yeah, for the win.
Step Brothers.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
Probably one of the most used gifts, like in my keyboard history, is the. Did we just become best friends? And then hoping every time I use it that the person will reciprocate with the yep one. They never do.
What do they say?
They literally don't respond to it.
Aww.
I know, it's so sad. I've yet to find.
I think it kind of speaks for itself. Like, it doesn't require an answer.
But the answer, I'm waiting on the answer. Like, the answer is the scene. Like, you have to have the yup.
Send it to me. I'll send you the yup.
I have sent it to you before.
Anyway,
I've tried this with you several times.
The weather outside
is frightful. Same page.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad today.
It's so nice outside.
That's what we've resorted to.
So
weather talk. Are you like on a roll trying to think of something to say whilst also using fillers? Yeah, well, you see, I got nothing. This is supposed to naturally flow.
Sorry, I keep looking at your hair.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing's wrong. It's just very swoopy out of your hat.
Swoopy?
It's swoopy.
My hair is swoopy.
Yeah.
That's not a word that has ever been used to describe any part of me. Is swoopy?
Swoopy. It's cute.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you find it to be cute. So, what would you like to talk about now? I had that topic that took up all of, 7.5 minutes?
Well,
here we go.
I don't really have anything prepared. I don't really have tricks up my sleeve. Or anything
like
to
the
say.
cereal?
Tricks?
Yeah. You storing cereal up your
Forgot
sleeve?
about those.
They're for kids.
Please hold. There we go.
You are tangled. Now
well, the thing keeps bumping the thing and making a noise.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like when you're wearing wired headphones and you have a zipper on your jacket and it goes. I hate that so much.
That's why we don't have wired headphones, except for right now.
I still have wired headphones.
Yeah, because you never throw headphones away, ever.
That?
You never get rid of headphones.
Hey, remember that time?
Hey, you remember that time?
Hey, what headphones are you wearing, honey?
Shut up.
I'm just asking.
I don't want to.
What headphones are you wearing? And who wanted to toss them?
I didn't want to toss them.
You wanted to get rid of them.
Because I hadn't used them in forever.
We were giving shit away because we were moving.
Yeah.
It's the same as throwing it away.
No, it's not.
Giving it away for free is the same as throwing it away.
No, it's
you
not.
You get nothing out of it.
Oh. Okay. Actually, giving it away, someone gets to use it.
Okay, I'm not saying...
You're gifting it to someone else.
I'm not saying...
And it gets use out of it.
That if you're going to give it away, you might as well throw it away. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you throwing it away and giving it away are mentally the same thing.
No, they're not.
You're removing it from your possession for free.
Nope. I completely disagree. 100% disagree. Throwing it away is throwing it in the trash where it's going to go nowhere and to no one.
That's not what I'm saying.
And it's a waste. It is exactly what you just said.
That's not what I'm saying.
Giving it away.
I'm not saying they are the same thing. I'm saying that they have the same, like, mentally, it will not be in your possession any longer. You're not selling it. You're removing it from your possession. That's all I'm saying. You wanted to...
But your actual words were, they're mentally the same thing.
They are mentally the same thing.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Me throwing something away versus me giving it away are not the same thing. Because I know when I give it away, it's going to go to someone else who's going to enjoy it.
Okay, let me rephrase, if I may. Giving something away and throwing it away
are not the same thing. Good talk. Continue.
I don't know how to say what I want to say, damn it. Anyway, you wanted to remove these from your possession for no financial gain.
Right.
That you paid quite a bit of money for.
Actually, I got them for free.
Motherfucker.
Shall we continue?
They were costly at their inception. How's that? They were a costly product when you got them. Okay. So you say I just throw headphones away or never get rid of headphones. There's a reason. Because they're going to be useful later.
I said you don't just throw headphones away.
I don't throw headphones away.
You said I just throw headphones away. But it's okay.
Oh,
I knew what you meant.
Oops.
Just clarify.
Freudian slip.
That's not... Do you know what that is?
Apparently not. Would you like to explain?
No, but you say that all the time. Like, do you not think you... No, wait, how does it go?
I do not think you mean what is... You use this word. I do not think you mean what you think it means.
I do not think it means what you think it means.
Yeah.
Is that what he says?
He says sink, but it's a language thing.
Yeah. Love the movie.
Okay, so point is, you wanted to get rid of the thing that you were accusing me of never getting rid of, acting like it's a pain, and you are using them.
I didn't say it was a pain. I'm just saying you never get rid of it. I'm just stating a fact.
Your tone was, he never gets rid of headphones.
That is not what I looked like. Or sounded like.
No, I can't be as pretty as you.
Aww.
Or sound like you. Take that how you want. I didn't know what words to use. Hey, if I start backing away from my microphone really slowly, it sounds like I'm actually really far away now. And then I get really closer like this. I didn't change the volume of my voice at all. Isn't that amazing?
Should I leave? Because you seem pretty entertained.
If the funny voice thing was on, I would be very entertained.
Oh my gosh, I so wish that would work.
We would do all of our podcasts like that.
It's funny.
I think we can get a soundboard that actually does that.
Well, I just don't understand why it doesn't.
I don't know.
Like, what's the point of even having it?
I think it's just for our entertainment.
I doubt that. That doesn't make any sense.
It was $30
Yeah.
for a soundboard, which you might not know soundboard costs, but that's not a lot.
I know. I
It's
can guess.
reasonably cheap for a soundboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, did we just have a fight? Did we just argue?
About headphones?
About throwing away versus giving away.
And headphones? Yes.
Oh. Well, I'm glad it's resolved. I'm glad that's over.
It was exhausting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go cry in a corner now. This is actually really comfy.
I told you these chairs would be best.
And you were correct. I didn't fight you.
No. I know.
You're like, hey, if we just turn this way and then use these chairs, does that bother you with your glasses on?
No. It's
Good.
like sitting on top of my head. I feel like we should have planned something to talk about.
Oh, you think this should have been more prepared. I feel like we were really not ready for this. I agree. We were not ready. Like, we sat down and went,
and
what are we going to talk
action.
about? Like, I don't know anything. Like, current events, I don't know anything.
Well, that's not what this is about. We're not talking about current events.
We're not talking about current events.
Let's talk about why we wanted to do this.
We could talk about currents and how they event. Like,
what goes on in your head?
So many things.
Like, honestly.
All the things. Like, okay, train of thought. Current events. Currents are part of the water. Waves. Waving. But the moon causes currents. So what can we talk about the moon? Mooning. Show my butt? No. That was the train of thought. And that was a calm one.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, podcast. So, last year, I wanted to start my own podcast. Fun fact.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to start my own. You didn't yet.
I wasn't there.
You hadn't thought of this for yourself, but I wanted to start one because I wanted to talk about all of my life experiences and whatnot. Because I have a lot I could talk about.
Yes.
And I feel like my experiences could help people because other people's experiences helped me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I wanted to start my own podcast, and then I had no idea what to do or how to do it, and I was working full time. I actually owned a business at that time too.
You did.
And then I went through some shit, so it never happened. And then you decided,
like a month ago.
Yeah, a little like over a month ago, you're like, I want to start a podcast, and then you wanted it to be, like your new thing on top of everything else that you do, but you didn't really know what to do with it. And then you were like, hey, do you want to do this with me?
Yeah, which to me was the best idea I've ever had.
It was a good idea.
Yeah, thank you.
You had a good idea.
Thank you.
Instead of just like having me as a guest or me having
right,
you as
it's
a
like,
guest,
would you like to be a guest on my podcast? Fuck you, bitch.
I'd like to own 75% of it.
I will own 51%. Take it or leave it. Shark Tank. Well,
Shark bait. Ooh, ah.
The whole reason I wanted to start the podcast, though, was all the other shitty podcasts that are out there. And it's funny because Sup Daily actually made a video about this. He's like, I really feel like it's ill-timed me starting a podcast with all of the, especially the TikTok drama going on with all
men
these
with microphones. That's what we call them.
Shitty people podcasts.
They're called men with microphones.
Men with microphones.
Yeah.
You've seen the "Stop Giving Men Microphones" song on TikTok?
No, but I've seen all the videos I need to see of these men who have microphones who really shouldn't.
Yeah. Oh, they're all over YouTube now. Like they've gone from.
They've been on YouTube.
Oh gosh, it's so. It's not upsetting. It's comical at this point.
It's
like
disgusting.
Bad comedy.
It's not. It's. I know what you're saying. Like you're just so over it that it's like become.
Yeah, at first it was shocking. Like, it was shocking that people would actually say that kind of crap on the internet.
Right.
Or in general.
Yeah.
And then after you see it enough times, it's like, people are now doing
very,
it for
like,
the shock factor.
Shake my head funny, not like, oh my gosh, this is actual comedy. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
It's not ha-ha funny.
It's, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Moving on.
Let's change the channel funny. Scroll funny.
So here we are. We both wanted individually to start our own podcasts.
So naturally we did it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fun because anything that I do want to talk about from my experiences, you've been a part of for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
And then if it's anything, from my past or yours, like, we can both weigh in on that.
And it's a hell of a lot easier to have a podcast with two people, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do sitting here talking. I get tired of myself.
I get bored with my own conversations as well.
Like, I don't even know how I would have done that. I mean, it's a good idea. Good on me for, like, wanting to do something new, but also, what was I thinking?
That was part of my whole, like, hesitation towards the entire process was for probably 2 or 3 weeks. I thought about it. I was like, okay, so I'm going to have to, it's going to be a once a week thing. It's probably going to be 30 minutes to an hour long. I'm going to have to sit and write topics and come up with stuff. And I'm like, fuck, that sounds
But people do that,
exhausting.
and it's like people do it by themselves. And I'm like, and you can listen to it and be entertained the whole time. I'm just like, how? I could never.
Yeah, I'm way too flighty.
Yeah, you are.
I could not focus. Like, we're changing topics a lot here, and that's the only reason I'm still sitting down.
We really have nothing to focus on right now. We're just.
I can focus on you.
We're just chatting.
Cha-chatting?
Cha-chatting.
Cha-chatting? I feel like we're onto something with that one.
I had a thought.
Ooh, I love those.
I don't remember what it was.
What if teeth weren't white? What if they were like green?
Some people's are.
That's disgusting. It sounds unhealthy.
Yeah, well.
Unless it's like purposeful, like with a grill.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever considered getting a grill?
Okay, so listen.
What?
Just listen.
Oh my gosh, you did the gum wrapper thing, didn't you?
Listen to me.
Okay.
I want to say this wasn't even middle school. I want to say this was maybe like intermediate school, so the step before.
Intermediate school? Were you a troubled child? I'm kidding. I know what intermediate school is.
Do you? Because you're homeschooled, so I have to question that.
I used to think intermediate school meant like you got in trouble.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I used to think that when people would be like, "Yeah, I went to intermediate school."
Oh my gosh!
When did you get in trouble?
Are you kidding? Oh.
Yeah, I'm all types of special.
That's sweet.
Thanks.
It's not your fault.
It's really not.
We're literally.
The system failed me, and the system was my parents. So.
Yeah. To be honest.
I call them the system now. That's their official title.
Well, they had a responsibility to educate.
And they did not come through.
Didn't quite get there. Anyway.
Well, they had a responsibility to educate, and they put that off on me, onto me.
Makes sense. Totally.
So you have
take yourself 2nd through 12th grade.
Yeah.
And go.
You had a child, then teenager, trying to educate themselves.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you've ever tried to do that, but it doesn't typically work well.
You turned out pretty great.
I turned out okay, but.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about grills.
Oh, intermediate school. That's right. Yeah, so it was a thing to use foil and gum wrappers. I want to say that was around the age. I can't really remember. That wasn't something I ever did, but I was around for, to see everyone else to do things like that. My thing was using, and I've told you this story before, using rubber bands as like fake retainers. I don't know why. I don't know why this was cool, but we would literally take those little like hair tie rubber bands and put them in our teeth and have like a line going across our teeth like a retainer. And we just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And it kind of hurt because those rubber bands are kind of thick. Right?
There's no beauty without pain.
It's not like floss going between your teeth. It's like a freaking, rubber band.
It's a rubber band. It's a hell of a like a rubber band in your mouth.
So that's what I did. I don't know why that was a cool thing. But
kids, who knows?
When did you find out Santa Claus wasn't real? Or did you just like always know? You didn't always know.
I didn't always know. No, I was, I think, 9.
I think I was 9 too. But where were you? Do you remember?
Yes, I remember exactly where I was. This is an odd question, but I like it. I was sitting. You've been to my parents' house.
Yep.
So I was sitting in the living room, and it was Christmas Eve.
Oh.
I know.
It was
so
Christmas
sad. It was
Eve?
Christmas Eve, and
oh no.
I was sitting in the living room, and I looked out the back towards the kitchen, those little windows that are there, and saw my dad carrying the Christmas presents to the shed out back. And that's when I knew.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't like question it? You didn't think, like maybe he's helping Santa or something like that?
No.
You didn't try to justify it?
No, because they were bicycles.
Oh.
And those were supposed to be from Santa.
Yeah.
And so the next day when I got them, and okay, at that point I questioned it. I was like, maybe Yeah, okay. I think maybe, but I'm just going to keep my mouth shut about it. And then the next day, those were like, from Santa on the bicycles. And I was like, you fucking knew it. So, I actually found out Christmas Day, 1999. Christmas Day,
Sad.
1999. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. It's funny, I can remember that, but I can't remember. Sometimes I can't remember my own phone number. But I can remember the day I found out Santa Claus wasn't real.
I was also 9. I was in 3rd grade. And I was. No, that's not right. I was 8. I was in 3rd grade.
I was only in 2nd grade when I was 9.
Whatever age I was when I was in 3rd grade. Because I was 10 in 5th grade. So. But my birthday was also at the very beginning of the school year, and I was like the youngest in my class. So I don't really know. Anyway, I was 9 years old. No, I was in 3rd grade.
So your mom started you early.
Early, yeah.
Okay, mine didn't. Mine started me late.
Anyways, I was in 3rd grade. Whatever age I was, 8, 7, 9, I don't know. And this was so traumatic. Like, I just remember being so devastated. It was recess time. And these 2 girls, I remember who they are. I still talk to one of them sometimes to this day. They were best friends. They were going around asking everyone, do you believe in Santa? And the cool answer was to say no.
Of course.
And so they came to me and they asked me if I believed in Santa or if I believed Santa was real or something like that. And I just this is how I remember it. I don't know how accurate this is, but I remember standing there and like pausing and being so shocked. Like, why is this even a question? Of course. But I was like, no. And then I was like, wait, why? Well, and my whole world was just shooketh. Because apparently, it just wasn't real. And the question to ask was, is he real? And why would you even ask that? Like, why would you? So, that's how that happened for me. I don't remember going home and like ever talking to my mom or like confirming it or having that conversation.
Yeah, I never confronted my parents.
But that's my story with Santa. Now, when it comes to like the Easter Bunny, I don't ever think I think I always knew that was my mom because it was just so obvious. Did you?
See, I grew up in the country around rabbits, and I knew they didn't lay eggs. So.
See, so you just.
Yeah, that myth was never a thing.
Okay, I don't think it was for me either.
Now the Tooth Fairy.
So that's my next one, the Tooth Fairy. I want to say, I believed it was. Oh, Pixley. I want to say I believed that was real for a little bit.
Well, the Tooth Fairy gives you money. It pays to believe.
Right. Well.
Yeah.
But I don't remember being so like shocked and devastated when I found out it was my mom leaving money under my pillow.
Well, you were still getting money. Like, it's not the Tooth Fairy, it's you? Okay, that's fine.
Right, but also, I had a very active and vivid imagination. Like, I wanted it to be real.
Of course.
You know? But
Yeah.
I don't remember being so devastated that it wasn't.
I was super devastated, and this is one of those weird things, but I was extremely devastated when I found out leprechauns weren't real.
Oh. Are you serious?
Yes, like 100%.
I don't think I ever even
considered the fact that they might be.
Yeah.
I used to fantasize about finding the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow.
Aww.
Like whenever there were rainbows, I would pack my bag and
wouldn't.
almost leave. I would every time. Every
That's
time.
so cute. Oh.
And the bag was very small and had like some Hot Wheels and like a bag of chips in it and stuff like that. And I always thought, this is how I'm going to make it. This is how I'm going to become wealthy. I'm going to find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I'm going to be real nice to the leprechaun. Like that was my get rich quick scheme when I was a kid, was find the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow.
That's so sweet.
And then when I would see a double rainbow, holy shit, there's 2 pots of gold right there.
Oh my gosh.
So,
That's so cute.
But then I found out that, the whole Lucky Charms thing was bullshit. So with Lucky, and there were no leprechauns. And
Aw.
yeah. That was also the day I stopped believing in the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I think it was 12 or 13.
I feel like I didn't approach the Loch Ness Monster situation until middle school, maybe. I had a laptop, and I remember, I don't know how I learned about it, I don't remember that, but I remember going down a rabbit hole on the internet.
Yeah.
Just, I was so dedicated to finding, like,
The
evidence.
truth.
Yeah, I was like, this.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, bitch, this thing, I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove that this exists. You watch, I'm gonna.
Right. No one's ever proven it
But I'm going
before. But I'm a middle schooler. I got a laptop. Let's do this shit.
I was so dedicated, and I was just so fascinated too by it. I think, like, That's
fascinating lore.
It is. Well, it's not lore. It's real.
Did you find the proof? That fuzzy picture?
Yeah. And then
one so low definition.
The same thing happened when I found out about Bigfoot.
Oh my gosh.
I went down. Bexley, my dog's trying to. You just lay down, honey.
She's trying to sleep on you standing up because it's the only room.
Yeah, no, the same thing happened with Bigfoot, and I went down a rabbit hole, big time. Same. You know.
Okay, let me ask you this: are you a believer in Nessie?
Loch Ness is real.
Loch Ness is real.
Beach, come at me. Prove me wrong.
Okay, what was the conclusive evidence that, or did you just get tired of looking?
I just feel
in my heart
that this place is way too big and there's way too much damn water.
Okay, but it's Lake Erie. Like, it's a lake. It's not.
No. It moved.
It moved. It moved.
He's like, I'm out of here. I don't know.
But I really feel like you do believe that Loch Ness is real.
It's been so long since I've looked into it, to be honest. I mean, this was years and years ago.
On the record, I have no opinion.
But I remember being so freaking dedicated and so convinced. And the same with Bigfoot.
What was your conclusion with the Bigfoot search?
Not as dedicated as I was to Loch Ness.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Loch Ness is older.
Yeah, so. I don't know. I didn't really reach any hard conclusion that I can reiterate at the moment. Because it was so long ago, but I do remember being very passionate.
So as it stands, you are inconclusive on whether you believe in Loch Ness and Bigfoot.
I can neither confirm nor deny either that they exist or they don't.
Here's what I would like to do.
Stop! Why are you laughing? Huh?
I don't know. I'm just happy. I would like to have a genuine discussion about this when I know more, because I have not researched Loch Ness to the extent that you have.
Oh,
so I don't feel like I'm entitled to an opinion as to whether Loch Ness is real or not. We should circle back to this at some point.
We can do that.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. How's about this one? Ghosts.
That's a whole. Okay. Do you want to go first?
Do I want to go first?
Because I've also gone down many a rabbit hole when it comes to the supernatural.
I think.
Have you ever gone down rabbit holes for this, or have you just kind of seen things like here and there?
I've done both. It's been a while since I've gone down the rabbit hole. I've never watched like Ghost Hunters or anything like that, because honestly, learn to work a fucking camera. Anybody who has a ghost show, and I would believe it more. Like, I would watch it if people actually like panned and zoomed instead of just like doing that, because to me that just makes it not believable.
Okay, but that doesn't answer my question.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Watching movies and stuff isn't research.
Oh, well, Ghost Hunters is not a movie. Ghost Hunters is a reality show.
Anyway.
Ghost Breakers.
Have you...
Ghost Facers. That's what it was.
What was the kitchen line? Staying in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot. Ghost Facers.
Yeah, something like that.
But have you ever gone down a rabbit hole? Like, with
Yeah.
the supernatural?
Yeah, it
Online?
scares me to Google stuff like that, so I typically don't.
Really?
I don't like researching shit like that.
Yeah,
You know
that
who you're
doesn't-
talking to.
That doesn't surprise me. You can't sit through anything that even hints at scary.
Anything?
You watched the first part of it halfway under the blankets.
I watched Silent Hill, thank you very much.
Yeah, you did. That's
that was
true.
a scary one.
Not really.
With Triangle Head. Whatever they're called.
I don't
Big
know.
ass sword and rip people apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's casual. It's fine.
It's casual.
Chill.
It's casual. I got a giant butcher sword and I just tear people's skin off. It's casual.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really bad Tinder profile.
So, where do you stand?
Where do I stand on ghosts? If there are any ghosts, you are welcome here. Just in case. I'm skeptical, but cautiously optimistic that, perhaps they could be a thing. I've never had any solid experiences with them though.
Okay.
But I'm very skeptical.
Okay.
But every once in a while, I do get chills for no reason. And I'm cold a lot. So I think that I might be surrounded by ghosts all the time. I think I'm pretty popular in the ghost community because I'm cold all the time.
Is that what it is?
That's
Is that
probably,
why you're cold?
They
all the
love
time?
my feet. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh.
They have a foot thing. They probably think I'm Bigfoot.
Again, the thought process. I can't even.
There's so many things I
can't follow
didn't
it.
say.
I know.
Okay, more of the thought process. If ghosts had currency, what would it be called?
What? That's an actual question?
Yeah,
you
I'm
have
asking you
in
a
your
question
mind?
because it follows along with the thought process. Like, what would their currency be called?
Do you have an answer? What?
I do. Boo bucks.
Boo bucks?
Gold Goulian instead of Boolean. Yes, so boo bucks. I think if ghosts could pay me in boo bucks, they would pay me for feet pics because
Your feet are always cold. So it must
my
be
feet
ghosts.
are always cold, so it has to be ghosts.
Well, my experience
Here we go.
is a little different. I was too young to remember this specific story, but I have been told it many a time by my sister because she was the one babysitting me when it happened. It was at a house that I lived in Texas when I was little, and it was me and my older sister. I think she was like maybe 13 or 15 at the time, and I was 2, 3, maybe 4. I don't really remember.
Okay.
Obviously, but we had stairs that came from like the upstairs into the kitchen.
See, even talking about this, I'm getting goosebumps. I do not like talking about ghosty things. Like, I like it, but I just get chills talking about stuff like this.
It's interesting.
I have chills all the way down my legs,
Really?
even between my legs.
Oh my! Get out. I'll finish the podcast.
Okay.
I got chills. They're multiplying. It's from Greece.
Never seen it.
I know. We need to fix that. Anyways, apparently I was upstairs playing and I screamed and then ran downstairs and my sister, ran, I was little, so I was...
Do you not see that?
I do, but I'm trying to tell a story.
Sorry, go ahead.
I screamed and ran downstairs the best I could because I was so little. And she met me and she asked what was wrong, and I said that I had been playing with a girl upstairs, and I don't remember what else I said, but that's that was the main point, was that there was a little girl upstairs that I was playing with.
Mm-hmm.
And there are multiple ghost stories from my siblings that they experienced in that house because all my siblings lived in that house all together at one time. And I was just too little to remember any of it, but there are a few stories. That's the main one that involves me that I've been told. And she's super into horror movies and paranormal stuff, so she, I guess you could say, is kind of open to accepting that.
Yeah.
You know? And I was too young to remember, so I can't say one way or another, but I definitely believe that happened or could have happened, just because kids especially seem to be more in tune with things like that, which kids can kind of be really freaking creepy in the middle of the night when they're talking about, you know how dogs will like, or cats or any animal will just kind of like stare in the corner of a room and start barking or
Yeah.
whining or whatever?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same idea. Like kids pick up certain things and they'll say certain things, and it's like there has to be something else going on, because how would they have known to say that?
I'm just gonna go lock myself into a closet now. Yeah.
Are you freaked out?
No, I'm really not. I'm just all
So,
goosebumpy.
Anyway, so kind of.
Yeah,
I have
I'm
gone
cold.
down a huge rabbit hole when it comes to paranormal stuff, and especially like all these horror movies that are based on real events. I've researched the hell out of those because it's I learned, like when I was a teenager and used to go to go see horror movies in the theaters for funsies. When it said based on true events, I was like, this is like a reenactment. This is exactly how it happened.
No,
I'm like, oh,
no.
hell yeah. And then I read about it, and I realized they can dramatically change the storyline and everything about it. So I decided to start looking into the stories they were based off of.
Oh boy.
Instead of taking the movie for what it was and like taking that as fact and true events and history or whatever.
Right.
I researched the families that they were about and like the experiences they
That's an
had.
interesting word.
And yeah, I've gone down many a rabbit hole from that. And I think it's fascinating. I think it's super fascinating. I for sure think I'm very open to people who are open to it and have like certain things they're more in tune with than other people.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm definitely not as skeptical about it as you are.
Well, you seem to have had experiences with it and had people that have experiences with it. I do not want an experience with it. I'm going to just put that out into the universe. Like, no fucking thanks, man. But like if somebody tells me that they saw a ghost or that they've had a paranormal experience of some kind, I don't just write them off. I'm not just like...
I had a very interesting experience that maybe could be considered paranormal. My first nursing job. That's probably my most recent one.
Like in a hospital?
I've had a couple, actually. I'll tell you. My first nursing job, I worked on a PCU, which is like step-down ICU unit. And this lady was dying from liver failure. And she ended up... I took care of her for a couple days. This was back in 2018, I think. 2018. Yeah, 2018. I took care of her for a couple of days, and it was my first patient that I'd ever had, because I just started working as a nurse, and it was my first patient that had been like on a hospice care sort of situation, like who was dying.
Okay.
And it was all very new to me anyway, because do you think you're seeing things? You're looking up at the ceiling like you see things.
I actually just looked up there, so I thought, hey, I'll look up there too. We'll all do the same thing.
Anyways,
what are you looking at?
It was all nothing. A shadow.
Don't look at things.
It's just a shadow.
Just a shadow. No such thing. Sorry.
No such thing as just shadows.
Right,
shadows or ghosts.
Shadows
then
are ghosts.
you have a ghost on the TV.
Fuck.
Anyway, everything was new to me because I was a brand new nurse, and this patient ended up dying. And that night, so I hadn't been at work that day that she died. Okay. But the night that she died, she was in my dream. And we were driving like this old red truck, and she had lived like on a farm with her husband or something. We were just driving in this old red truck, and liver failure is like very uncomfortable. It's excruciating. It's like not, there's no like... It's
not a comfy way to die.
Right, like she was just very uncomfortable and very not herself the last few days. And in my dream, we were just sitting side by side. She was laughing, and she looked healthy, and like her skin tone was back to normal, and she was just like at peace, and she was good. And then I found out the next day when I went to work that she had died. And I have heard multiple stories from nurses about stuff like that. They've had patients, similar situations, and then that night they like come in their dreams, and the next day they found out that they had died in the middle of the night. So,
you don't think that that's like intuition?
No. There's more to it than that.
Okay.
For sure. because it's the way these patients like have come into the dreams. It's very interesting, actually. And then my next one isn't. This happens. My next one. This happens so often from what I've seen. I know.
Tink. Tink.
So I was in the ER. This was when I was a nursing student still. I was in the ER and it was like 5 a.m. And there are these trauma rooms in the ER that trauma patients come into, obviously, but just to explain it to you.
No, I need that. Like, talk to me like I'm 5.
Yeah.
What does ER stand for? I know.
Okay.
It stands for ER.
But the trauma rooms, tell me what it really stands for so I know you're not kidding.
I think I'll keep this bit going for a little longer.
Tell me what it stands for.
I know it's the emergency room, love.
Okay.
Nope.
I just had to make sure.
Nope.
Anyways, so
I was noping the dog, not Chastyn. Just want to clarify
nope.
that for the audio.
I was there at 5 a.m. and the trauma rooms are where I've never worked in the ER, but it's where like when you have a car accident or something traumatic happens. Yeah. So the trauma patients go in there, and I mean, people do die in the trauma rooms just because, well, you know. So we were getting things all set up for the day, and in this trauma room, no one was in there. There wasn't even a bed in there. There wasn't anything in there, and everything was turned off. But we turned the lights on just to check and make sure the supplies were where they needed to be. They were kind of like showing me where everything was as well.
Okay.
And all of a sudden the monitor popped on, and it would, like, every time we were in the room, and it would show like a wave, and then it would stop. So I stepped out of it was really weird. We were both like, what is going on? So we stepped out of the room, we moved on, and I kept an eye on the room because I thought it was really interesting because of my ghost.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Most people are running.
Most people are what?
Running away.
Oh.
But I'll sit and watch.
I'm like the person that goes outside to watch the tornado touchdown right in front of me.
Cool.
So I went back and I stood outside of the room, and it was still, the monitor was still on, but it was like a flat line. And then I stepped in the room, and then it started acting up again. And it wasn't just, so we call artifact like these weird lines on the screen that pop up. It happens just randomly.
Okay.
And it wasn't artifact. It was a very like normal pleth looking wave. It was just very regular. Like
a heart monitor?
It was, I believe it was like the pulse ox line that was showing. Yeah.
I don't know what that is. So the beep,
beep, beep. So
that one?
You have a monitor that reads oxygen in your blood.
Got it. Is that the one that clips onto your finger?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it'll show like a wave.
Okay.
Okay. And I believe it was that line that kept coming on. So I went in the room, and it would come on, and then it would stop. And every time I left the room, it would stop. But then when I went in the room, it would act up again. And that happens. There are so many ghost stories in hospitals. It's crazy. I saw this one. They had, I don't know why, it was an old hospital. They had a rocking chair in there. I think it was like an old baby unit or something. And in the middle of the night on night shift, it would just start rocking. And then there was another one that was kind of like a closed unit. On like the side of the unit was closed, but this side was still working. So night shift was still on the floor, but not on this certain side of the unit. Mm-hmm. And there was a wheelchair that would just like, and they recorded it. They got it on camera, like just moving in the hall. It was really, yeah.
I do not like that.
Super interesting
I
stories.
do not like that.
It's pretty cool.
At all.
I think it's pretty cool.
You're over here like, yeah, I'd like to see that and like for real. And I'm over here thinking, I never in my life want to experience anything remotely close to that.
Yeah, well.
And therein lies the difference between you and I.
There's the difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just...
Like, I would like to find a leprechaun at the end of a rainbow, and you want to see a wheelchair moving all by itself. That's pretty much describes us.
Want to? I don't... It's not something I'm, like, seeking out.
You'd be like, guess what I saw?
Oh yeah.
You would enjoy
Because
it.
there was literally no other way. The way this chair was moving, the wheelchair, the way the chair was moving, and the way the unit was set up, it wasn't like someone was hiding off of the screen and like pushed it and it was rolling in a straight line.
Yeah.
It was like someone was maneuvering it a certain way, and there was no way anyone could have been like standing around it or anything. Yeah.
And that's
Hospitals,
why I'm
man.
not skeptical. Or that's why I'm skeptical, but not like a true non-believer, Charlie.
Oh my gosh. Hospitals are the place to hear ghost stories.
Yeah. Well, places of extreme suffering are typically places for ghost stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Ow.
Anyway.
Yep.
Does that conclude?
Does it feel like a good stopping point?
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's a good stopping point. It gives us stuff to talk about on other podcasts. I still want to circle back around to the Loch Ness Monster.
We'll do our
Bigfoot
research
thing.
and
We'll do some research.
We'll dedicate a good part of a future podcast to Nessie.
Yeah. When are we
Nessie.
When are we gonna drop this?
I don't know. We haven't.
We
Like I said, we don't even have a plug.
We haven't spoken about days or schedules or anything like that.
We're gonna because my schedule's all over the place, so it just kinda has
but
to
we
be.
can record it at any time and then always release it on the same day.
Right. I don't know yet.
Let's talk about it. Coming soon
To
a platform near you.
Finger guns.
Finger guns.
Cool. And then we'll do the poll. But by the time the poll is done, by the time this specific one is out, we'll have the name. Because we don't really have a name yet.
So it shall be named.
Yeah.
Insert name here. I'm really proud of myself for not belching into the mic one time this whole
Solid.
hour. Or farting loudly.
Loudly is the key
loudly
word
is
there.
the key for that one.
All
right.
Coming up in the near future is an outro song.
We have to have music.
Thanks for listening.
Bye. I think we should take that little sound bit and that should be our exit every time. And we should just put music to it. Dink, dink. Oh. I have to pee.
I did too.
You go first.